Hey everyone. So I just got back from watching The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage.
It is a bonkers movie. So if you haven't heard of the movie, it stars Nicolas Cage portraying a fictionalized version of himself.
It's the easiest gig ever. You play yourself.
When we see him at the start of the movie, he's not quite down on his luck, but he's kind of lost the old mojo that he had from his previous films.
What's the worry here, Nick? You've lost some of your talent as an actor?
No.
Doesn't really have a direction with where to go with his movies.
I'm quitting acting. Tell the trades, it was a tremendous honor to be a part of storytelling and myth-making.
I guess a lot of his recent ones haven't really been hitting the mark for him, and he's struggling financially because of that. Additionally, he's had some family issues. His ex-wife's always annoyed at him for being, I guess, too Nick Cage. His daughter is fed up with him just because he doesn't listen to her. Typical, teenage daughter stuff. But she has a point in this one because he's kind of obsessed with himself. So that's where we meet him at the start. And then he gets the invitation to go to the birthday party of a billionaire superfan.
We got another offer. It's $1 million. It's to attend a wealthy gentleman's birthday party.
I would never do that.
Who is portrayed by Pedro Pascal, who is the Mandalorian. This guy has everything. He has memorabilia.
Is it too much? Is this supposed to be me? It's grotesque. I'll give you $20,000 for it.
He knows everything about Nick Cage and all of his portrayals in the films.
What is your favorite movie?
That's one of those questions that's impossible to answer. You can't just limit it to one.
But we later find out, here's where spoilers come in, that he's involved in the mafia.
Your friend is working for the U.S. government.
Don't lie to me.
Find out later in the movie that his cousin is actually leading the mafia. For the large part of the movie, we think Pedro Pascal's character is heading the mafia in that area. Yeah, so Nick Cage gets involved and the CIA calls.
What do you guys want?
We're with Central Intelligence. Do you know who you're spending time with? One of the most ruthless men on the face of this planet.
Simmons is like, hey, they have this girl kidnapped and we need you to spy on him. So he's spying on Pedro Pascal's character, and then his family gets involved and they're in danger, and then his daughter's in danger. At the same time, he's trying to write a movie with Pedro Pascal because he's such a fan, and he's trying to work things into the movie while trying to find out where they're hiding this girl. It's overall, the plot is pretty straightforward. It is kind of an amalgamation of some different Nick Cage movies. It has a lot of nods to it.
Are those my golden guns?
They're my golden guns. I don't want to kill you. You're the last person I want to kill. I love you. I love you.
There are many points in the movie where he has to kind of portray different versions of himself from his previous movies.
Whoa, Cage!
It is extremely meta. I think it knows exactly the kind of movie it is. It is catering towards fans of Nicolas Cage. The thing that stood out to me, I think, beyond just being meta in that way, I think it was truly Nicolas Cage's love letter to himself and to the art that he has produced and wishes to continue to produce. We all see this crazy Nicolas Cage, but at his core, I do think the movie intended to do this. I think he wants to create art. I think this movie, like many of his films, it has the typical crazy Nick Cage action, whatever, but it is also a nod to the deeper side of acting. I think he definitely wanted to bring that to the forefront in this role. It is a fictionalized version of himself. For example, there are parts that aren't correct. In the movie, he's not great to his daughter, but in real life, he's actually turned down many roles in movies, like in Matrix and Lord of the Rings, in order to make sure that he has enough time for his family. So that's really important to him. Some things aren't exactly true in real life, but other things like the core of his character in that movie where he really does want to create something beautiful. I think that was him actually putting himself in the movie about himself. It's like I said, extremely meta. I enjoyed both aspects because I think Nicolas Cage, he does have that duality to himself. I think he knows how people see him and he embraces that.
Did you ever drink beer in high school?
No, not beer, but I do remember having a bag of mushrooms in my refrigerator.
But he also does embrace that deeper side as well. Overall, I don't know if it's quite 10 out of 10, just because it is kind of almost a parody of itself. It is original, but kind of not. As far as entertainment value, that is certainly a 10 out of 10. If you like Nick Cage, if you've seen a handful of movies, I haven't seen a lot of his movies. Like, I haven't seen Wicker Man, even though I know the memes and all that.
This hers? Tell me!
Yes, I think it's, yeah.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? What is it? What is that? What is it? Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes!
What is it? What's wrong, sister?
If you have an appreciation for what he brings to cinema, you will absolutely like this movie. If you've seen it already, obviously you know what I'm talking about. This is the kind of movie you would definitely watch with friends over a few drinks and just have a good time with. It is absolutely hilarious. Overall, Nicolas Cage definitely brings his A game to this movie. I think he did it for himself and he did it for his fans.
I think I might have a real gift for it.
He knows he has a lot of fans.
I think that's the actor Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, I love you.
We all appreciate what he's done in this movie. So I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about it. So at this point, I still haven't seen Morbius. I've heard very bad things from the critics. Audience, actually, I heard they really like it. I haven't seen Sonic 2, which I've heard is amazing. I haven't seen the new Fantastic Beasts movie. I'll get around to it at some point. It's not very urgent for me. So I chose this movie above 3 franchise movies just because it looked like a surefire good time, and it is absolutely a good time.
I didn't know that was a cliff! We could have died!
Let me know what you thought, and we will see you next time.
Ah!